It seems like I've been skating my entire life. Can't remember a time I didn't skate. People might think I'm too old for skating, and it's too dangerous. I think it keeps me young. Mentally, physically, if you stop pushing yourself, you go downhill. I was fortunate enough to be part of the first NorthShore Inline marathon. And through the years, I skated a bunch of them. And at one point, I took a little detour. When I hit rock bottom, I didn't think there was any chance I was ever coming back. Sometimes a little push is all it takes to get the ball rolling. I kind of got into inline skating by accident. I got my first pair of inline skates to train for cross-country skiing. In the early 80s, cross-country skiing developed the skating technique, and so in order to train during the summer, dryland train, I decided to get myself a pair of these new rollerblades. Rollerblades has just started. Scott Olson and his brother just invented them in their garage, and then they sold the company and eventually became Rollerblades, which is the Kleenex of inline skates. Basically back then, if I said I was doing inline skating, people would say, "Oh, you mean rollerblading?" And I was like, "Yeah, rollerblading." The early ones were just basically a frame with the little orange wheels, which were like really slow. And you just riveted them to the bottom of your skate boot, very rudimentary. And I had these rollerblades, inline skates with the slow orange wheels, but I did okay in one race, and I won a set of the red ones, which I think were a couple millimeters bigger, but a lot better polyurethane. And so I was way faster for the next one, and then the next one I won like a pair of Bones bearings or something. And so I had like really good equipment compared to everybody else. And one thing led to another, and pretty soon I was racing all over the place. I got sponsored by Ultra Wheels, which was the competitor of Rollerblades. Ultra Wheels' claim to fame was the Great One. They had Wayne Gretzky as a spokesperson. And another sponsor was Twin Cam Bearing. My partner in crime, Gary, we were called the Total Jokers. We were jokers. But we had a good time. We got to travel around the country skating races. We didn't make any money, but we got our travel expenses paid for. That was good enough. We were having a good time. Yeah, it was the heyday of rollerblading, inline skating. And you could basically, around the cities, find a race every weekend in the summer. And then, the holy grail of skate racing came along. They announced there was going to be a Grandma's inline skate race on the same course as the Grandma's marathon running race. And boy, were us skate geeks excited. I can't even tell you. The first North Shore Marathon was 1993, and I raced in it. Through the years, I retired and came back a number of times. But then, one time, I didn't come back. I got Lyme disease. I was starting to build our homestead up in northwest Wisconsin, and I didn't know I got bit. I never saw a bullseye or anything, and we were living in the city still, and they didn't really know much about Lyme disease, and I was deathly ill. I had 104 fever, night sweats, just headaches, felt like heck. I mean, even got to the point where I developed a system for going to bed because I sweated through my sheets so much. I put like 3 beach towels on the bed, and then I would kind of soak the first one, get up, flip it over, and soak through total. Then I'd get up and I was like wet as if I had just showered, so I'd towel myself off with that one, hop back in bed, sweat through that one, flip it over, so on and so forth. And I did that through the night. After a couple of nights, I figured probably should go see a doctor. And in the cities, they weren't too used to Lyme disease, so they didn't catch it right away. My doctor finally called an infectious disease doctor, and that guy said, just put him on doxycycline and test for Lyme disease. Well, I tested positive and 2 co-infections. That usually means that you're going to be having some problems down the road. Long-term effects from Lyme disease like that, it's like 95%. I started feeling better, and I thought I was, everything was cool. I mean, this went on for like about a year or something, and then one day I tried water skiing, and I just couldn't get up, and I tried a couple of times. I pushed myself pretty hard, and I basically was wiped out for 2 weeks. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. This was like could be like a year later. At this point, that was when I turned and I started going south, and I started spiraling down for a couple of years. Everyone who has Lyme disease has kind of a different bunch of symptoms, but the same core ones, but everyone has kind of like a different variation of it. We're talking headaches, nausea, dizziness, unsteady balance, that sort of thing. I had pressure in my head, pressure in my eyes, bad arthritic pain, and extreme fatigue. And several days of the week, the most I could do was lie on the couch. Getting down to the mailbox oftentimes was my one activity for the day. I went to a bunch of specialists, optometrists, because my eyes just felt like they were bugging out of my head, neurologists because of the headaches and that sort of stuff. And they tested for ongoing Lyme disease, and it doesn't show up. That's kind of how it works. There really is no cure for Lyme disease. There are some experimental things, which really hyperbaric chambers, light therapy. Some doctors even do massive antibiotics and stuff like that, but that's been proven not to really do much, but can be pretty tough on your body, so I didn't want to go any of those courses. I took it upon myself to do my own research. I found the one thing that did help some people was herbal supplement. I referenced a couple of books by Rawls and Bonner and kind of got my own regime going. It was slowly improving things, after months, after years type thing. With Lyme disease, you become inactive, and that just makes things even worse. And so I made it a point to try to get out there. I mean, when I was at my bottom, though, I couldn't do anything. I remember specifically working out twice in the year for like 2 years. I skied with Angie. It was ugly. I mean, we're talking 20 minutes, and I remember distinctly telling her, "You go ahead. I can't keep up with you. This is a 20-minute ski, basically walking along." And I used to ski the Berkey and the Elite Wave and stuff like that. So this was night and day difference. I tried to get out and walk because that was something I could do sometimes on a good day. And so I started walking, and it was cardio, just walking. It was major cardio. I mean, I was sucking wind, but it just kept building up and building up. I kept on walking, and eventually threw in a couple more cross-country skis. So at one point, my son Josh kind of got into inline skating himself, and he started doing NorthShore. I'd go and watch him. After one of them, he said, "Hey, Dad, you should do it with me." He sounds just like that. I just basically shook my head and said, you don't know how bad it is. The next summer, I started feeling a little better, so I actually got out and gave it a try.
Not looking good.
Skates on for the first time in
Not looking good.
could have been 10 years or something. Yeah, it was ugly. I mean, super ugly. I've always been pretty stable on skates, and so this was kind of a new experience for me. I made it a point to get out there several times. A little bit better. I can at least put weight on a leg, one at a time. Still pretty lame. In an effort to kind of motivate myself a little bit, I signed up, but not for the full, for the half. Back in the day, to do the half would have been an embarrassment, but at this point, it's an accomplishment. I skated enough to get through it. It was quite the fun event. Had a blast, kind of brought me back.
Countdown at 10. All racers gonna have your attention.
I'm done though. But when I got to that finish line, I was ankle skating at that point. I was just wobbly. I couldn't have gone another stride. I was pretty excited about the whole experience doing the half, and so I signed up for the half again, like right away. What's your plan here today?
Stay upright, then try and skate a little lower.
Short 10 wasn't it? Going like that.
The sight for sore eyes. Oh yeah. And like I always say, I was done at 2K. Whoa! After the race, when the excitement was still there, I decided to pull the trigger and sign up for the full. That's where we're at. I'm currently right here. I'm putting on my race wheels. I have to say I've got some concerns. There will be a little more danger just from the extra people and making it to that finish line. I have not skated that far in, it could be 20 years. I don't know. I'm just psyched to get back to the starting line. So let's see how this thing goes. Say every year I'm not going to run for the bus, and I think maybe this year I've accomplished that. I think I'm going to inspect me one of these bippies.
Bus loaded!
Yeah, who doesn't love a yellow school bus? Am I right? All shapes and sizes.
Please use the porta potties, and when you get done, close the lid. It's just nice.
It's just like my favorite MC ever.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Jamie, come on, Jamie, you got this. Jamie, you got this.
And Michael Krieter from South. Michael coming in here at South Bay. He's a long-time skater. Adam Thompson from Krieter.
1:37. About 12 minutes slower than I had planned. But I guess 2 stops to sit down for a little while kind of adds a little time onto the finish time, so I guess I'll have to take it. Ow! Okay, I'm out of here. Sometimes low expectations are good. I guess maybe I might have had some high expectations. No way you can anticipate having to stop and sit down twice during a race. So, it was a little rough. I would have been kicking myself if I didn't do it, so I'm glad I did it. But that 20-miler, like 2.5 weeks ago, I never did recover from. And yeah, at mile marker 1, I was toast, and I wasn't sure if I was going to finish, but I did. So I got back to the start line, the NorthShore Inline Marathon. Maybe next year it'll be a little better. Give me something to shoot for. Keep you going, keep you alive. I had to give it a couple of days for the painful memories to fade, but I pulled the trigger and signed up for next year's NorthShore. It'll be fun to be back there with Josh. He had a scheduling conflict this year, so he couldn't do it. Having a goal keeps me moving forward, because I don't want to go back to where I was. I just thank God for the second chance I've been given, and I look forward to the next exciting epic adventure.